It is time to stop playing small and start playing bold with business mastery expert Vanessa Shaw.
Hi, I'm Emily LaRouche. Are you ready to make the journey from lawyer to entrepreneur? Every week I'm sitting down with people who have mastered the art of running a business and want to share with you the lessons they've learned along the way. Join me as we experience the highs, the lows, and everything in between as we learn, share, and grow together. Welcome to Share the Love.
Vanessa is very busy speaking, coaching, traveling the world, and we are so lucky to have her in studio today. Vanessa, can you share with our guest a little more about what you do?
I'd love to. So we work with bold women in business, mainly service professionals who want to take their business to the next level. And so that often means, as you and I know, both being in business for ourselves, it's looking at, more clients, more income, and oftentimes a lot more fun and freedom in their business as well.
Wonderful. If you haven't noticed, she has an accent. She made a bold move to come here. Tell us a little bit about your bold move.
Yeah, it was a really big, bold move. So I'm going to give a little bit of the backstory to that because I think it's really important. At the time, I was working with a major law firm over in Europe and helping service about 10 different regional offices for them and really working with their equity partners, their board members and everything at a very high level. And so I was coaching them to make kind of big, bold moves in their business and set up offices and, lead their teams and take on bigger clients and everything. And I honestly came to a point where I had to say, you know what? I'm coaching them to make big, bold moves. Who am I? What am I up to? I'm feeling like a fraud because really, what's my next big, bold move? And that started this whole process around, what would a bold move look like? And it's sort of sowed these seeds of desire within me. I'd been coming to the States. My husband's actually American and we were living in Switzerland at the time and I was coming backwards and forwards to the States and I just loved coming here. I loved the energy. And I started to go, what if I could move to the States? What if I could do something really crazy and stop my life over in Europe, get my kids out of school and bring the whole family over to the States and kind of just turn our lives upside down. And I literally did turn our lives upside down and landed in a dust storm in July of 2012 now.
Was that your first haboob?
It was. And it was literally rolling in over the mountains as we landed.
They're spectacular to watch if you're outdoors and you see them approaching. Very cool.
Yeah, so it was definitely a big, bold move. And I guess landing in a dust storm, I did go, wow, what have I done? Really? Is this a sign for things to come? Fortunately, it wasn't, but it was an interesting moment.
Wonderful. And so you've coined the boutique business model. What does it mean to be a boutique business?
Yeah, great question. Thanks for asking. So I noticed that for myself, being a woman in business, I actually am not interested in building some empire. I'm not looking to be the next billionaire. I really love what I call more of a lifestyle business. It's still a serious business. We still work with hundreds of people, but I want that business model that's going to give me quality clients where I can give premium service too, but I also want the lifestyle that goes with it. And that's what the boutique business model is all about. It's all about being able to create quality, leverage within the business, but take into consideration that lifestyle and the freedom that we really want as well. And we've really, cracked that nut in our own business. Hence you said, we travel a lot. We've been able to develop a business that we can take on the road, run from anywhere in the world. It kind of gives us that freedom and fun that we, I believe many of us as women are looking for.
That sounds fabulous.
I can probably share multiple stories actually, but one comes to mind, and this is because it's kind of a classic story, I think, of so many women in business. In this case, it happens to be an attorney. She's a family law attorney out in Colorado called Kelly. And she came to work with us because she's really passionate about what she's doing, how she practices family law. But she was also like, I just don't understand business. Like, I'm a really great lawyer that I'm super confident about. But this whole business thing and how to take it to the next level and what's marketing and all the rest of it, she's just like, this is just a muddle for me. And one of the areas that we work with on women, obviously we're working on lots of different things around that boutique business model. And so getting out there and being more visible and marketing is a big part of that. But in fact, with Kelly, what we discovered is that she had this real fear of the numbers. She, wouldn't look at the numbers in her business. She didn't understand them. And honestly, that's my story as well and my background, which is kind of one of the reasons I teach that to other women. And she would say, it's causing so much stress because I can't predict things in the business. I find myself, I'm always worrying and kind of wondering where all the money's going. And as we started to look into that, we put together some just really, really simple systems like tracking and understanding what those numbers meant. And we discovered that because of her fear of numbers, there were a whole load of things that she was actually avoiding in the business. And I'm sure you can relate to this and, listeners can as well, because these are kind of classic traps that we can fall into. When we don't understand something or we're scared of it, we avoid it until it comes and bites us, right?
Yes.
On the backside, typically. We discovered that she had about $60,000 outstanding in accounts receivable.
Oh my.
So it was really a mess. And again, she shared this publicly, so I'm not sharing any deep, dark, dirty secrets. Kelly said, she wanted to share this story because she knew full well that she wasn't alone. But there was a knock-on effect to that, right? She hadn't been, keeping on top of her billing. And then she said, now I feel, it's really unfair to my clients because now all of a sudden I'm going to hit them up for a much bigger bill or replenishing their retainer when they don't know what's going on. So she said, I've really created this mess. So again, we had to put a very simple system in place where she could follow up, have those conversations that at the time felt incredibly uncomfortable. To recoup a lot of that accounts receivable. And then by really starting to stay ahead of her numbers and say tracking them, she got to the place where she'd say, I'm really proud because now I can see my numbers going up, and we'd start to set financial goals and profit goals. And that particular year that we were working together, as she was looking at those numbers in the business and understanding them in a very simple way, she added $250,000
wow.
to the business in 1 year, 12
wow.
months. So it's, again, and it is a wow, right? Because we kind of go, okay, so, invoices are out of date, but it was all of these other knock-on things that were happening in the business that were all related to that. And now she's almost become like a numbers geek. I'm actually speaking with her this afternoon, so I'm sure she's going to be reporting in on something.
That's amazing. And it's hard because you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly. And it was one of those things. It was like she said, once my eyes were open to it, it's like we can't not see it.
Right.
So at that point we have a choice. Okay, now I know what's going on. Now let me put in some systems in place. Let me learn about this. And it's those classic things in business. If you went into law because you love practicing the law, it's typically because you haven't gone into practice law because you want to be looking at your financials all day long. Right? There's those things that we just don't understand because, that's not our core area of expertise.
Right. So you'll help identify kind of the areas that are weak that need to be, maybe we need a little more education about how to actually run the business.
Exactly. Because in the boutique business model, there's actually kind of 9 what I call profit activators. So any one of those areas that we could be working on. So a lot of times it's the psychology and mindset for ourselves, frankly. We start there. Sometimes it's in defining who those ideal clients are. Another time it might be about the marketing, or then we're looking at, well, how do we move from marketing to an elegant way to convert, right, into paying clients? And of course, there's always the delivery part. It's not just as we know that it's not good enough just to get the clients coming to the door. Once they're in, we want to be given a great service. So we're often looking at these different nine different areas and then looking at, which ones actually require the focus now that's going to make that business take off.
That's wonderful. I love that. I hired a business coach and it was a really disappointing experience. So, I could tell it was very cookie cutter. It was like, this is how I coach. Everyone does the same thing. I'm going to take you through these steps. And none of it was custom for, what my weak areas were. So I really didn't get a lot from it. So I like that you have the 9 different pronged approach to looking at where are the weaknesses.
And as you know, we're all different, right? What's your business model is going to look very different to mine. I mean, we're not imposing a business model on somebody. We're showing a model, and then from that, people can actually make it their own, right? So that their business becomes an authentic expression of themselves. And as you know, we've all got different weaknesses and different things that we excel at. So we can't, obviously I'm not an advocate for cookie cutter approaches because life and business just doesn't work that way.
Yes. I always say, I'm not a cookie. Stop trying to cut me.
Yeah, I love that.
So would you like to travel? Would you like to spend time working in the business, working on the business? Vanessa offers a free growth strategy session. I think that sounds like paradise. That's the kind of life I want to live. So if you want to live that, you've got to contact Vanessa Shaw. I have some rapid fire questions for you.
Oh my gosh, let's go.
So first thing that comes to mind, what's the best place you've ever vacationed?
Ritz-Carlton in Bali.
Sounds fabulous. When is the last time you had a belly laugh?
Probably about 3 days ago, because we took our team away for a leadership retreat in Cabo, and we did a lot of laughing over games of cards and probably quite a few cocktails, if I'm really honest.
I was going to say a lot of drinking.
Yeah, exactly. Cards and cocktails.
That sounds great. When do you feel in your element and the most bold?
Gosh, that's such a great question. I have to say, I do love being front of the room. We run a lot of live events. So when we've got, when I've got an audience and I'm front of the room and teaching and they've chosen to be there, that's probably where I show up, in my most playful and bold, because I love to be able to call people out and, get them out of their own way so that they can take their life and business to the next level.
I've been to one of your events. It was fabulous. And you were on fire.
Thank you. Was it the last big, bold event?
It might have been, but it was wonderful. The set, the scene. I mean, you think of everything down to the most minute detail. It's all spectacular.
Thank you. No, we love running events because I love that sense of community and bringing people together. So as I say, that's definitely a sweet spot for us.
I had as much fun getting to know the people at my table as I did getting to see you. So that was also a great experience for me, a good opportunity to network. And I'm usually kind of introverted. So it's a good way to step outside your comfort zone with like-minded people who want to grow.
Yeah.
Something that might surprise people about you.
Gosh, I actually wrote this in an email this week. I was writing a campaign and all of a sudden I remembered it. So when I was about 10, I was selected to be in a road safety commercial in the UK. And it was actually called the Green Cross Code Man. This is something that's very, very English. Of course, I was 10 years old. I was super, super excited. Turns out that the guy that played the Green Cross Code Man, if I can even remember to say it properly, was the actor who also played Darth Vader.
Really?
So this was really. I think this must have been just before Star Wars. So this was a big deal. And unfortunately, it rained and we were never able to go outside and film and the whole thing was called off. And so I never, ever got to be in that commercial. Oh. So I was selected for it and I'm still wanting to be on TV these days.
Very cool. And last of all, how can our viewers find you?
Yeah, so one of the best places to find us is straight at vanessashaw.com. And we have got loads of goodies and resources there. And as you said, for those people that are looking to build a business and a life that they love, we're offering a free business growth strategy session. And they can access that by going directly to vanessashaw.com/be bold.
Be bold.
Be bold.
vanessashaw.com. Check it out in the links below. Thank you so much for being here, Vanessa.
Thank you.
You're a marvelous guest.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of Share the Love. Make sure to give us a thumbs up, share, and subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, and Google Play to get the latest content.